The clock struck midnight. The city outside was silent, except for the faint hum of rain brushing against the window. Inside her small apartment, Evelyn lay under a gray blanket, her eyes open, waiting. She wasn't waiting for sleep. She was waiting for him. Every night at exactly 12:03 a.m., she heard his voice. Greater than, "Good night, Evelyn." Just 2 words, soft, calm, and deep, as if whispered from the edge of her dreams. But the truth was cruel. The man whose voice she heard, Noah, had been gone for 3 years. He died in an accident that tore her world apart. And yet, his voice never left her. At first, she thought it was grief. Then, maybe her mind replaying memories. But when the voice started saying things she'd never heard before, things he could not have said while alive, Evelyn began to wonder, was it really him? Or something else? The room smelled faintly of jasmine candles. The soft light flickered across her walls, painting shadows like ghostly shapes. She pressed her phone's recorder on, whispering into the dark, "If you're there, Noah, say something more." For a few seconds, there was only the sound of rain. Then, a whisper, "I miss you, but you have to remember, Evelyn, don't trust." The voice cut out. Evelyn's heart raced. The candle flame trembled as if reacting to the words. She replayed the recording, static. Nothing, but she knew she heard it. She felt it. She got out of bed, her feet cold against the floor. The rain outside blurred the city lights like tears. On her desk sat a framed photo of Noah, smiling, alive, beautiful. She touched the glass. "Greater than, if this is a dream, don't wake me up," she whispered. But then her phone buzzed. A new voicemail from an unknown number. "Greater than." Voicemail, 上午12:04分. "Evelyn, you have to stop searching. Some goodbyes aren't meant to end." Her hands shook. She didn't recognize the number, but the voice, it was his. Her breath hitched as she whispered, "Noah, how is this possible?" And somewhere in the room, the candle went out, though no wind had blown. Chapter 2. The message he never sent. Morning came like a slow apology. The rain had stopped, but the world outside was still gray, the kind of gray that feels heavy, like it carries the weight of last night's secrets. Evelyn sat on the edge of her bed, staring at her phone. The voicemail was still there. The timestamp, 12:04 a.m. The voice, definitely Noah's. But how? He'd been gone for 3 years. His phone disconnected, his number erased, his ashes spread over the lake where they first met. And yet, the message felt new. It wasn't a recording from the past. It was like he had spoken yesterday. She played it again. "Greater than, Evelyn, you have to stop searching. Some goodbyes aren't meant to end." The voice was calm, but behind it was something trembling. "Fear? Regret?" she whispered into the phone. "Noah, what are you trying to tell me?" Her own voice cracked, carried away by silence. Later that morning, she walked through the quiet streets toward the cafe they used to visit. Everything looked the same, yet nothing felt the same. The same red chairs, the same barista, even the same song playing softly in the background. But it was like watching a ghost of her own life. She sat at their corner table, tracing circles on the surface with her fingertip. And then she saw something that made her freeze. A napkin on the table, folded neatly. On it, written in blue ink, were the words, "Stop looking for me." She turned around sharply, her heart pounding, but the cafe was nearly empty. Just an old man reading a newspaper, a young couple laughing near the window, and the barista wiping down the counter. No one else. Evelyn picked up the napkin, her hands trembling. It was his handwriting. The same loops, the same slant, the same E that curved slightly too long. "Greater than. This can't be real," she whispered. She clutched it to her chest, feeling a strange mix of fear and hope. Because maybe, just maybe, Noah wasn't gone. Maybe there was something she didn't know, something unfinished. That night, Evelyn couldn't sleep. The city lights glowed softly outside her window, painting golden lines across her face. She opened her laptop and searched for Noah Carter again, just like she had 100 times before. And then she froze. There it was. A new post, dated yesterday. "Sometimes love doesn't die, it hides." Noah Carter. Her hand shook so badly she could barely hold the mouse. She clicked the profile, and there he was, the same picture, the same name, alive. Online. Tears blurred her vision as she whispered, "Noah, is it really you?" She typed a message, her heart pounding. Greater than, "Who are you?" Within seconds, the typing bubble appeared, then vanished. Then came the reply, "You were never supposed to find me." Chapter 3. The man who wasn't supposed to exist. The morning after the message, Evelyn couldn't think of anything else. Her job emails went unread, her coffee grew cold, and her heart felt like it was pacing faster than her mind could follow. She stared again at the message on her phone. "You were never supposed to find me." It sat there like a wound she couldn't stop touching. By noon, she made up her mind. If Noah was alive, or if someone was pretending to be him, she had to know the truth. There were too many coincidences, the voicemail, the napkin, and now an active account with his handwriting style on posts. She put on her beige coat and headed out, her mind spinning with half-formed theories. Greater than, what if someone hacked his account? What if it's just a cruel joke? Or, what if Noah never really died? Her first stop was the lake, the place where they had spread his ashes. The air smelled of pine and old rain. The wind brushed her hair across her face as she knelt near the edge, staring into the gray, rippling water. 7 years ago, Noah had promised her forever, and 7 years ago, forever had drowned. She whispered, "If you're out there, give me a sign." The water remained silent, but her phone buzzed in her hand. A new message from Noah Carter. Greater than, "Stop visiting old places. You're not safe here." Evelyn's breath caught. Someone knew she was at the lake. She spun around. The parking lot was empty except for her car. The trees stood still, and yet she could feel eyes on her, watching from somewhere unseen. Shaking, she drove home, her heart pounding so hard it hurt. The moment she reached her apartment, she locked the door and sat against it, trying to calm her breathing. Her phone buzzed again. Another message. "Dayu, you have to trust me this time. Leave it alone." "Who are you?" She typed quickly. "Someone who's trying to protect you." That night, Evelyn barely slept. At 7:15 a.m., she heard a faint knock at her door, just once, soft but deliberate. Her pulse raced as she reached for the lamp. "Who's there?" she whispered. No answer, only silence, and the faint sound of footsteps retreating down the hall. She looked through the peephole. Nothing. No one. But then she noticed something. A small envelope on the floor, her name written in the same familiar handwriting. Inside was a single photograph. It was her, standing by the lake that very morning, and in the reflection of the water behind her, a man's silhouette, tall, familiar. Noah. Chapter 4. The Ghost in the Photograph. Evelyn sat frozen, the photograph trembling between her fingers. The reflection in the water couldn't be real. It looked like Noah, his posture, the curve of his jaw, the way his hair fell across his forehead, but that was impossible. He was gone. She had watched them lower the urn into the lake. She had cried until her lungs ached. So who was this? She zoomed in on the photo with shaking hands. The figure was blurred by ripples, but something about his stance, the way his head tilted slightly to the left, was exactly how Noah used to stand when he was deep in thought. Greater than. No, it can't be him, she whispered. Someone's trying to mess with me. But who would go this far? Who would know about the lake, the handwriting, the things only they had shared? The next morning, she called the only person who might still believe her. Lena, her best friend since college. Evelyn, you sound like you've seen a ghost, Lena said, worry in her voice. Because maybe I have, Evelyn answered. I got another message. And now, she hesitated. Now there's a photo of me from the lake. Lena was silent for a long moment. That's not possible. He said they never found his body. What if someone... Don't say it, Evelyn interrupted. Please. But the idea had already lodged in her mind. If Noah's body was never found, could he have survived the crash? Could he have disappeared for a reason? Evelyn decided to dig deeper. She searched through old messages, news reports, and social media archives. Noah's old company website was gone, wiped clean, but an archived post caught her attention. A photo of Noah with his research team, taken just a month before his accident. One name stood out: Dr. Adrian Wells, a cybersecurity expert, known for work in AI identity reconstruction. Her blood ran cold. Noah had once told her, "If something ever happens to me, don't trust anyone from my team." Now it made terrible sense. That evening, Evelyn drove across town to find Adrian Wells's office. It was supposed to be empty, but when she arrived, the lights inside flickered. Her pulse raced as she crept closer. Through the window, she saw a man standing before a wall of monitors. Dozens of images flashed across the screens, surveillance photos, social media feeds, and then her. Every angle of her apartment, every movement she had made in the last few days. Evelyn's hand flew to her mouth. Suddenly, a voice behind her said, "You shouldn't have come here." She turned around and froze. It was Noah, alive and looking straight at her. Chapter 5. The Man Who Wasn't Dead. For a moment, Evelyn forgot how to breathe. Her mind screamed, "This can't be real." But there he was, Noah, alive, standing just a few feet away. His eyes the same deep gray she remembered from countless sleepless nights. "Noah," she whispered, You're alive." He didn't move closer. He just looked at her, a mix of guilt and longing twisting his expression. "Greater than... Evelyn, you need to leave," he said quietly. "It's not safe for you here." Tears welled in her eyes. "Not safe? You've been dead for 2 years. I mourned you, Noah. I buried your things. I buried you." Her voice cracked. "And now you're standing here telling me to leave?" Noah's jaw tightened. "I had to disappear," he said. "If they knew I survived, they'd come for you too." Evelyn stared at him in disbelief. "Who are they?" Noah hesitated. "Well, this organization, they were building something dangerous. An AI system that could replace human identity. They wanted to erase people, rewrite their data, their memories, everything. I tried to stop them." Evelyn shook her head. "That sounds insane." "It does," Noah said, his eyes darkening, "but it's real. And when I refused to cooperate, they staged my death. Wells made sure every trace of me vanished." Evelyn took a step closer. "Then why show yourself now?" He looked at her, pain flashing across his face. "Because they found you. You're being watched, Evelyn. Every photo, every message, it's all monitored. They know you've been looking into me." She swallowed hard. "That photo by the lake, that was you, wasn't it?" "I had to make sure you remembered me," he said softly. "You were the only one I could trust." Her heart pounded in her chest. Anger, relief, and heartbreak tangled into something sharp and unbearable. "Greater than... You should have trusted me then, Noah," she said. "Not after you vanished." Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the building, glass shattering, alarms blaring. Red lights pulsed from the hallway. Noah's face went pale. "They found us." He grabbed her hand. "Come with me if you want to live." Before she could think, he pulled her through a back door into the pouring rain. They ran across the dark alley, their footsteps splashing through puddles. Behind them, the lab erupted into chaos, voices shouting, sirens wailing. Evelyn's breath came in sharp bursts, her heart hammering as they disappeared into the night. They didn't stop until they reached an abandoned subway tunnel. Noah turned to her, drenched, exhausted, and trembling. "Greater than... You wanted the truth," he said. "Now you're part of it." Evelyn stared at him, realization dawning slowly. "Greater than... You're not just running from him, are you?" She whispered. "You're running from what you created." Noah's silence was the only answer she needed. Chapter 6. The Identity Code. Rain dripped from the ceiling of the abandoned subway tunnel. The air was heavy, damp, and full of the kind of silence that made Evelyn's heartbeat sound too loud. Noah crouched beside a cracked terminal box, sparks flickering as he tried to power it up. The glow illuminated his tired face, streaks of dirt, rainwater, and something like guilt carved deep into him. Greater than... You said you wanted the truth, Noah murmured, eyes fixed on the flickering screen. But the truth isn't what you think, Evelyn. She hugged her arms around herself, still shaking. I've already been chased, lied to, and told you were dead, she said bitterly. You might as well finish the story. Noah exhaled slowly, the terminal screen humming to life. It cast a cold blue light across the tunnel wall, a wall covered in strange symbols, maps, and faces. Greater than. This, Noah said, pointing to the screen. His Project Lucid, the program I worked on. It was supposed to revolutionize artificial memory. The government wanted a way to preserve knowledge beyond human lifespan. We built something that could store identity, not just data, but the essence of who someone was. Evelyn frowned. Like, uploading consciousness? He nodded. Exactly. But then Wells took it further. He wanted to edit memories, replace them, create people who could be rewritten, reprogrammed, perfect citizens, perfect soldiers. Evelyn's stomach turned. And you helped him? I helped until I realized he was using live test subjects. Her eyes widened. Who? Noah hesitated. Then, very quietly, he said, You? For a moment, Evelyn couldn't move. Her breath hitched, the world tilting sideways. Greater than. What are you talking about? She whispered. I was never part of your project. You were, Evelyn, Noah interrupted, his voice breaking. 2 years ago, before I died, I tried to shut the system down. But Wells already had you. He used your brain scans for the prototype. You lost your memories not because of an accident, but because they erased them. Evelyn's mind flooded with flashes, hospital lights, static voices, a voice saying, "Stay still." This will only take a moment. Tears blurred her vision. Greater than. So I'm not even me? She asked in a trembling voice. Everything I remember, all the pain, all the love, it's all manufactured. Noah reached for her hand, his voice raw. Greater than. You're real, Evelyn. You're more real than anyone I've ever known. They couldn't erase that part of you, your heart remembered. That's why you could still find me. Evelyn pulled her hand away, backing up. You should have told me. I couldn't, Noah said. If I'd contacted you sooner, they would have found us both. You were the only version of yourself that wasn't under their control. She shook her head. And now I'm supposed to believe I'm some kind of data ghost? Noah's gaze hardened. Greater than? No. You're the only person who can stop them. He turned the terminal toward her. The screen displayed lines of encrypted code labeled Lucid Core Memory System. A small blinking line pulsed beside the phrase. Evelyn Sanders is primary subject. Noah typed furiously, bypassing firewalls. If we can access your memory core, you can expose what Wells did. You're the key, Evelyn. You are the evidence. But before she could respond, a faint metallic click echoed from the tunnel. Entrance, the unmistakable. Sound of a gun's safety being released. Greater than. Step away from the terminal, a voice commanded. Evelyn froze. From the shadows stepped Dr. Wells himself, immaculate in a raincoat, flanked by 2 silent operatives. His expression was calm, almost gentle. Greater than. I warned you, Noah, Wells said softly. You should have stayed dead. Noah raised his hands, his eyes locked on Wells. Don't do this. She deserves to know the truth. Wells smiled faintly. She already does. But truth is overrated, isn't it, Evelyn? He turned his gaze to her. You think you're special? You're not the first, just the most stable. You should be proud. Evelyn's fist clenched. You turned me into a machine. Greater than. No, Wells replied, his voice silky. I gave you the chance to be perfect. Before Wells could take another step, Noah lunged forward, slamming the terminal shut. Run, he shouted. Evelyn didn't hesitate. The tunnel erupted into gunfire, sparks, echoes, shouts. She ran as fast as she could, Noah's voice fading behind her. The last thing she saw was the terminal's blue light flicker and die. Outside, she stumbled into the night, gasping for air, rain mixing with tears. Her mind screamed, "Who am I now?" But beneath the confusion, one truth pulsed through her. If they made me, I'll unmake them. And she disappeared into the storm. Chapter 7. The memory war. The city's skyline shimmered beneath the storm, skyscrapers glowing like digital ghosts against a bruised sky. Evelyn stood on the rooftop of the old Lucid Industries tower, the wind tangling her hair as thunder rolled in the distance. Rain fell in sheets, soaking her clothes, but she didn't care. She was back where it all began, the place she was created, rewritten and erased. Greater than. It ends tonight, she whispered. Behind her, the elevator doors hissed open. Noah stepped out, limping slightly, his coat torn and blood staining his sleeve. He had survived Wells' ambush, but barely. Greater than. You shouldn't have come, he said hoarsely. He's already activated the core. If we don't stop him now. I know, Evelyn interrupted, eyes fixed on the helipad across the roof. There, through the rain and mist, stood Dr. Wells, typing commands into a floating holographic console that projected streams of golden light. Greater than. You still think you can control me? She called out, her voice sharp. You think I'm just code? Wells turned, smiling with a calm, eerie confidence. Not control, Evelyn, complete. You were my most successful design. Empathy and intelligence in perfect balance. But love ruined you. Love makes you irrational. She took a slow step forward, her voice steady. Greater than. Love makes me human. Noah joined her side, his hand brushing hers briefly. For a moment, they stood together, two people bound by a reality neither had chosen. Wells shook his head. You don't understand. You were never meant to feel. Every memory you have of him, every heartbeat, I wrote it. I made you believe you loved him. Evelyn's pulse quickened. You're lying. Wells raised a brow. Am I? Tell me, Evelyn, can you remember how it felt the first time you met him? The warmth, the connection? Or is it just a story your mind repeats? For the first time, doubt cracked through her resolve. Images flickered in her mind. The cafe, the rain, Noah's hand reaching out. Were they hers? Or someone else's? Noah grabbed her arm. Don't listen to him. He's manipulating you. Wells smirked. Then why is she hesitating? Lightning split the sky. Evelyn felt the storm inside her building. She could feel the core calling. To her, that network of memories and data. Humming beneath the building, she was connected to it. She was it. Greater than. If you connect to the system, Wells said softly, you'll see everything. You'll see that I'm right. Evelyn took a trembling breath. And if I do, I'll destroy it. Wells' smile vanished. She stepped forward and pressed her hand to the access terminal. The moment she touched it, the rooftop exploded with light. Data streams surged upward, forming a giant sphere of shimmering code. Her mind filled with voices, thousands of them. Echoes of people whose memories had been stolen. Greater than. Evelyn, Noah shouted, reaching for her, but the light threw him back. Her body lifted slightly off the ground as lines of code spiraled around her, embedding themselves in her veins like glowing circuits. She saw everything, every lie, every experiment, every erased life. And she saw herself not as a victim, but as the one who could end it all. Wells staggered back, shielding his face. Stop! You'll destroy the data. Everything we built. Evelyn's voice echoed with both pain and power. Greater than. You didn't build life. You imprisoned it. With a scream that split the sky, she unleashed the core's energy. The rooftop erupted in light, blinding, pure, cleansing. The city grid flickered, the neon towers blinking out one by one. Then silence. When the light faded, the rain had stopped. The rooftop was scorched and broken. Wells lay unconscious near the edge, the console shattered beside him. Evelyn stood in the middle, trembling, her eyes no longer glowing, just human. Noah crawled toward her, voice weak. You did it. She nodded faintly, her breath uneven. The system's gone. Everyone's free. He looked at her, eyes softening. And you? She smiled faintly. I think I finally am. They stood together as the first rays of dawn cut through the clouds. The storm had ended. For the first time, Evelyn didn't feel like a machine made of memories. She felt alive, greater than. So, Noah said quietly, what now? She looked out over the city. reborn, quiet and waiting, greater than. Now, we start over. No lies, no programs, just us. He reached for her hand. This time, she didn't hesitate.